up, what up? Today on Back to Basics, we're going to talk about solving equations where absolute variables are wrapped around my variable. It's not that bad. In fact, if I had enough time, this puppy dog right here could do it. Ugh. Couldn't you, Stella? Couldn't you? It's my dog. My dag. If you hear noises in the background, it's probably her. But anyway, I digress. Let's take a look at what an absolute value equation looks like. If I give you an absolute value wrapped around an x, and then some, okay? And I say the absolute value of x equals a, where a is a number, then I have two answers, positive and negative a. Now I know what you're thinking. No. Absolute value just makes numbers positive. There can't be two answers. Absolute value just makes numbers positive. Well, I have news for you. I'm not turning a number positive. I am trying to find out what makes this statement true. So what I'm doing is, if I were to say the absolute value of what number gives me 3, the absolute value of what number gives me 3? Well, I have two answers. The absolute value of positive 3 gives me 3. Oh, but you know what? The absolute value of negative 3 gives me 3. So, x is positive or negative 3. Yeah. That makes sense. Dollars and cents. So my goal here is to solve these equations using a method like this. Well, are they all going to look like that? The absolute value of x equals a, and that's it? No. They're going to be a little bit more complicated, like this guy. I think she's chasing a kitty cat. Can I squeeze my face in? Can I squeeze my face? Can I squeeze it? Can I squeeze my face? That's not it. What if I hit that? No, that's a mirror. There we go. All right. What do I do? Well, first off, if my job is to solve for an absolute value or a variable wrapped inside an absolute value, I need to get the absolute value all by itself. So step number 1 here is, although I want to distribute, you can never distribute into an absolute value. Don't do it. It's against the law. Okay, so I'm just going to divide everything by 3. And dividing everything by 3, I get rid of that 3 right there. And so I'm left with the absolute value of x minus 1, close absolute value, equals regular old 3. Now, once I get the absolute value all by itself, what I want to do is get rid of the absolute value, just like we saw back here. I'm going to get rid of the absolute value, but make the right side positive or negative. So I'm going to get rid of the absolute value. There it is. I'm going to make the right side positive or negative. Now, what this is saying is x minus 3 equals x minus 1 equals positive 3, or x minus 1 equals negative 3. So I'm going to split it in two equations. X minus 1 equals positive 3, or x minus 1 equals negative 3. Let me see if I can squeeze that. I did. It looks terrible, but there you have it. Add 1 to both sides. Let's take care of red first. Add 1 to both sides. Add 1 to both sides. So x equals 4. And let's take care of blue. Add 1 to both sides. Add 1 to negative 3. And x equals negative 2. So my answers are 4 or negative 2. That kind of makes sense. If I were to take 4 and plug it into the original equation, I would get 4 minus 1, which is 3. The absolute value of 3 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. And I could do the same thing with negative 2. Negative 2 minus 1 is negative 3, but the absolute value of negative 3 is 3. Times 3 is 9. And those are my two answers. Bada bing. So isolate the absolute value. Get rid of the absolute value. Attach a plus or minus to the right. and then split it into two equations and solve each of them. Don't forget the or in the middle. It is a lot of steps, but I shall guide you. Step number 1, make sure the absolute value and the stuff inside it is all by itself. Well, good news, everybody. It is. The absolute value is all by itself. Now, I have a bunch of junk inside of it, including negatives. Should I get rid of those negatives? Absolutely not. Absolutely. Oh my goodness, a new friend is joining me. Hello. Oh, this is Pete the cat. She's a girl. Mwah. Oh boy, all my friends are just paying me a visit today. What's next? The mailman? I just won't give him as many kisses. Oh, it's the 2020s, kids. We're allowed to get away with that. All right, so my absolute value is all by itself. I'm going to get rid of the absolute value and make the right side positive or negative. So get rid of the absolute value and make the right side positive or negative. Positive or negative 20. So what this is saying is I have negative 4 minus 2g equals 20, and I have negative 4 minus 2g equals negative 20. So I have two separate equations that I have to solve for. Negative 4 minus 2g equals 20, and negative 4 minus 2g equals negative 20. I'm going to solve each of them individually. So let's add 4. Clickety-clack goes my pen. Minus 2g equals 24. Is g all by itself? G, I don't think so. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 2. I'm going to divide both sides by negative 2. And g equals negative 12. That's my first option. My second option is going to be add 4. Oh, yeah, just like we did in the other one. Bring down the negative 2g. That's negative 16. Divide by negative 2. Oh, yeah, just like we did in the other one. G equals 8. So my other option is G equals 8. There's an OR, and that's my answer. So if I were to plug in negative 12 into this original equation, multiply negative 2, take away 4, I get and then absolute value, I'd get 20. If I were to plug in 8, multiply by 2, I have a negative 2 actually, subtract 4, absolute value of that, I also get 20. All right. Yes? They're fighting. I hate it when they fight. The cat and the dog, they just get along like them. Is the absolute value all by itself? No. So I'm going to add 5 to both sides to get the absolute value by itself. There you go. Absolute value of k plus 8 equals 7 equals 7. And then I'm going to take away the absolute value, make the right side positive or negative. So let me do that. And split this into two equations. My two equations are k plus 8 equals positive 7, or k plus 8 equals negative 7. I'm going to subtract 8. I'm going to subtract 8, cross u out. K is going to equal negative 1. I'll put that way down there. Over here, I'm going to subtract 8, cross u out. K equals negative 15. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to put the or in the middle. I'm going to put a big, wide box around it, and I'm done. I'm done. Because if I take negative 1 and say negative 1 plus 8, I get negative 7. I'm regular 7. Absolute value of 7 is still 7, and 7 minus 5 is 2. And I can do the same thing with negative 15 and I'll be good. But what I did while my rude pets interrupted is I subtracted out the 5 because I had to get the absolute value all by itself. Did the plus or negative thing, split it up into 2 and solve each. Split it up into 2 and solve each. Split it up into 2 and solve that one and that one. I'm feeling pretty good about this. So good that this will be my last one. Now, this is a mess. But just like life, when you're given lemons, forget it. What a mess. I'm going to add 2 to both sides. I have a positive 2, or a negative 2 rather, and that negative 5 making it so that my absolute value is not alone. I'm going to always get rid of the number floating around first, and in this case I'm going to get rid of it by adding 2 to both sides. So that leaves me with 20 over here. That's supposed to say 20. That's supposed to say 20. Perfect. Now on the left side I have negative 5 times the absolute value of 3 plus 4t. The absolute value is still not by itself, so I'm going to divide everything by negative 5. I'm going to divide everything by negative 5. And so I am left with the absolute value of 3 plus 4t equals negative 4. Now Stella is going to help me out with this one. Stella, what number must I plug in to that t so that when I take the absolute value of stuff, it gives me negative 4? What's that? What? The absolute value will never be negative? Wait. So if the absolute value of a number equals negative, it's literally impossible because the absolute value always has to be positive? Yeah, that's what she said. Stella, the dog. Not me accidentally quoting The Office. Guess what, ladies and jelly spoons? This is a no solution. Where's my pen? This is a no solution. Why? Because there is no such number that when I take the absolute value of it, I will get a negative. Nothing. There's no such number. So, can I add? I know what I'll do. I'll zoom in and create my own brand new screen. So close. Good. If the absolute value of x equals a negative number, no solution. Because no matter what number I choose, the absolute value of it will be positive. That's it. So, pretty tricky stuff. Impossible, certainly not. And I may have ventured into the realm of Algebra 2 just a little bit here. Instead of doing more Algebra 1-y things. But hey, I like to have a good time. I like to live life dangerously. And Algebra 2 is a dangerous beast. Like my mother-in-law. Well, that's that. I had fun. Like and subscribe. Bye!